Here we go, guys, with example number 9 of inequalities. You know, again, it doesn't, we're not treating them differently as far as the general way of solving them. We're going to do the equation, we're going to do the number line. It works, all right? Now, the first idea would be to do the corresponding equation. This is an absolute value equation that was covered in a previous assignment. We talked about isolate the absolute value, which incidentally is already the case. Then we talk about, since there's two different numbers that have an absolute value of 27, this was the idea where we split it up into two equations, negative 27, positive 27. Keep in mind, we don't alter the expression inside there. That whole thing could either equal negative 27 or positive 27. Those are the two numbers that have an absolute value of 27. Solve. Those are both linear. So subtract 3, 5x equals negative 30. Divide by 5, and this equation leads to x equals negative 6. Same thing over here. Subtract 3, divide by 5. This one leads to, why am I blitzing out here? 4.8, that sound right? Okay. So let me just check here again real quick. Sometimes I even get in a hurry and I mess up, and apologies if I did anywhere. You're not here to correct me when I mess up, so, you know, it's going to happen sometimes. Mr. Sourdough Bread is human just like anybody else, I think. But anyway, there you go. So that was old stuff, and then we bring this back and we say, is there division by 0 potential? And there's no fractions. I gave you, I think, on this homework 2 questions where there was a fraction involved, and do both of them like example number 1. So anyway, there's no division by 0. So it looks like we've got negative 6 and 4.8 as the values of x that make these two things equal. And when we go up and look at the actual question, this is why I put the number line under the question. We notice there's a lack of an equal, so numbers that generate equal don't work. I think the best visual is a hollow doesn't work. And that'll impact the symbol we use when we give our final interval notation answer. All right, so wouldn't negative 10 represent all the numbers below negative 6? 5 times negative 10 is negative 50 plus 3. And this side doesn't have any x's, so it's going to remain 27. And then this is the absolute value of negative 47. Do what's inside there. And then, take the absolute value. You know what I'm saying? And so the absolute value of negative 47 changes that into 47. And 47 is greater than 27. And therefore, because greater than is the relationship in the question, this indeed does work. Now, I will tell you that this particular one conforms to some patterns that people would have you memorize. But I want to warn you, I don't always give you the ones that conform to the patterns that other people would have you memorize. Okay, so this is the safest thing I can suggest you do. All right, if we put 0 in for x, 5 times 0 is 0, plus 3, that'd be 3. Technically, you still need to take the absolute value of 3. Know what I'm saying? That's 3. And 3 is less than 27. And you'll notice I'm using red there because less than is the wrong relationship, and therefore the middle region did not work. And so it's just very mechanical stuff here. Hit pause if I get going too quickly. 10 lives out there beyond 4.8. So 5 times 10 is 50, plus 3. Make sure you perform all the operations that are in the question. And then that would be the absolute value of 53, which is 53. And 53 is greater than 27, and therefore, there you go. So, greater than, indeed, satisfies. So there you are. And like I said, this does conform to a pattern that a lot of people would have you memorize, but I just haven't had good luck with that. So, equation number line, that'll work on every kind of question. instead of trying to remember different patterns and exceptions to those patterns. I will be the first to acknowledge to you there's other ways to do these that might be quicker, but my experience has been the quicker approaches are less accurate most of the time. And so what's the point of getting the wrong answer quickly? Anyway, negative infinity to negative 6, parenthesis, right? Equal to is not there. Union, and then from left to right, parenthesis 4.8 to infinity. And there would be the answer to the question as it was in its original state. Very quickly, to review it one more time, if Mr. Soda Pop put an equal to on this thing, which he very well could do on a different question, wouldn't that make these numbers that created equal work? They'd fill in, and wouldn't those numbers, instead of having parentheses, have brackets on them? That's the only thing that would change if we were to put the equal to on there. Everything else would be done exactly the same. So, I don't know, that's my take on that. And, you know, in tough times like this, where we face challenges, it's just always important to remember that the will is greater than the skill. All right? So let's all hang in there. We're going to make it.